Warning.
Major spoilers ahead.
Mandasode, yeah!
It's great to see you again. As always, a lot of spoilers, and you and I haven't talked. We never see each other. We don't live in the same city, town, country, or world. And now here we are.
Galaxy.
I love your beautiful sweater vest. Your beautiful sweater you have.
Thank you.
Nice. Looks very nice. It's very.
Thank you.
It's very holiday.
Very, very holiday indeed. Yes, sir.
Let's get into the episode because I think. Well, first and foremost, I think this episode is going to be much better than our last worst episode of all time. I think we agreed that our last episode was the worst episode we've ever done in the history of episodes.
Which is a pity because it was for the best Mandalorian episode.
We were the worst talking about the best episode. So we can live with that. And then, of course, as a asterisk for our great grandchildren, which this is for, who won't even know what Star Wars is, that was the worst episode. So here we have not the best episode, but still a lot of cool things happening this episode, which excites me greatly. Bill Burr is back as Mayfeld.
Bill Burr.
I like Bill Burr because he doesn't care, first and foremost, and he offends the easily offended. That's what makes me like him a lot. Like he does, when you don't care, like a Charles Barkley, that to me is refreshing from public figures. So he returns as Mayfeld. He is doing hard labor, and he's been recruited now by Cara Dune and company. And now the caper can begin because, of course.
Wait a minute. Did you just say it? Caper.
Hashtag caper.
Caper.
Hashtags are the worst, by the way, but hashtag caper. So
caper,
of course, is to find out. I mean, they're just going to get Grogu back. And I say Grogu because that's his name. They're going to get Grogu back. And now they have to go to a place where the Empire is secretly doing something with very big juggernaut vehicles. And
so cool.
For me, this is a great episode because you get to see more of Slave One, Boba Fett's infamous ship.
And he's just had a makeover.
Boba Fett has a new paint job. We're not going to see that in the deleted scenes, but at some point he gets spray painted. He spray paints himself again. But I've always loved Slave One. You actually get to see some of the inner workings, which I think were fun. You see like the revolving, this rotating interior, which is those types of details make you love this series even more. We also have Din having to take his helmet off, so we can talk a little bit about that. So this is how much he cares. He's going to have to become, get into a stormtrooper outfit. And he's very modest, by the way. He went off, he's like the kid in Scouts who goes off to change, right? He'll be back in a second. He's very modest. He doesn't want to play shirts versus skins, but he'll be back.
Yes.
And then he and Mayfeld are on their mission.
Bill Burr. So, I'm a Bill Burr fan, and so the last episode he was in, I loved it. I hope he would come back. And I got to say, this episode, I thought he was even better than before. I don't know if it was written better, or if he just has become a better actor since last year, but he was better. He was better. He was absolutely better. Would you agree or disagree?
Agree completely. He, he's got good dialogue. He also brings his Bill Burr. He gets preachy in the Juggernaut. So he's kind of like, he's doing the preaching thing about invading planets. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying he's kind of going off on a little bit more. I mean, there's more depth to his character. And then what he does, when they finally infiltrate the base, puts him with, to me, like for Star Wars fans, like he becomes the hero status is raised because all of a sudden there is the Imperial Cafeteria Massacre.
Yeah.
So you're sitting down with, and of course at this point, Din has his helmet off, and they're talking to an Imperial officer that, of course, Mayfeld knew. I wonder too, is Mando cultivating his facial hair underneath Like there's this small, beautiful mustache. I wish he would just grow like a very big, thick mustache that no one would ever see, except when. So Mayfeld is talking to the officer. His buttons are pushed because of all the horrors. And then, of course, there's a shootout, and they just kill everybody. Like, it's not poor everybody. The one stormtrooper with his tray, and like he has a little drink on his tray. He's like,
oh, what?
I'm just here for a coffee. And
I'm just here for some coffee and some blue milk. Leave me alone.
Now I'm dead.
Yeah, and now so I'm dead.
They kill everybody. They do it's almost like a fugitive piece, Harrison Ford as the fugitive.
Yes.
With the water, the dam and the waterfall, that angle. And I was waiting for. There were a few swan dives off of
a convenient big window right next to the shootout, right next to the mess hall.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
I like this series so much that everything's just fine with me.
I loved it. And I love this episode too. The Imperial officer, where was he from? He was great actor, great look for the part.
Don't ask me that.
Don't ask you what the dialect was. I'm asking you to guess. Did it sound Southern to you?
Oh yeah, he was from Arkansas. Yeah, he flew from Arkansas to a galaxy far, far away. But I liked him. I thought he was awesome. But I would have liked. I like the British accents. I realize not everyone in the Empire has a British accent, but we're from the South, so we have to either deal with our own accents or endure accents that are a little twangy. So when you hear kind of somebody like "Long live the Empire,"
long live the Empire. Yeah.
This also sees the return. I mentioned Slave One. We see the return of something that happened in Attack of the Clones, which is
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you happen to be alive in 2002 and we're in a good theater, and there's a lot of bad theaters, but a good theater, like I was in IMAX, the seismic charges, that was the sound effect alone was so good. And so I will say this, I don't lie, but when Slave One was traveling up, I thought to myself, a seismic charge has to be coming. And then there it happened. I loved it. So then a million Star Wars fans cry out in joy.
I got two words for you. I was one of them because I love the seismic charges. It's one of my favorite things about the Attack of the Clones. Next to Obi-Wan's Canadian waterfall, next to his hair, next to the mullet. I love the seismic charges. And the banking clan. The banking clan will sign your treaty.
That's always why I go in with the techno armor. The techno union armor army will sign your treaty.
Yeah, so I felt like this episode was incredibly well acted. All the shots with Mando without the helmet, incredible.
Yeah, he's so good. I mean, that guy's always been good, and he's always been solid. Pedro's great. So we get those little moments. We got it in season 1. Now we got a little bit more of it in season 2. I like the fact, well, this is kind of an obvious, but he dispatched those pirates. I mean, that was thrilling when they were on the Juggernaut. I'm kind of wondering, they called them pirates, but you go, are these good guys trying to destroy the Empire? And like, is he having he's having to kill these guys? But it shows, of course, how great he is, even without his armor. And of course, there's like the Spider-Man, Iron Man scene where it's, Tony Stark's talking to Peter and says, if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve to have it. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. That to me says it all, because he even got back into the Juggernaut. He was like, he's like, because doesn't have his stuff. He doesn't have all of his things. Totally. So for him to write, to just show how great he is fighting these goons on the back of the Juggernaut, that was great. And I love these fast moving. I've told you, I love the Raiders of the Lost Ark stuff and the Last Crusade tank scene. So this fast paced, something in peril, that's kind of as old as time, but they do it well on this show.
It was so thrilling that if it had been a bad episode, that would have made it a decent episode. Completely. That scene alone. Let's talk about the team. It was cool seeing the team together. I loved at the beginning when they go to that shipyard, which, by the way, I think I saw a Wolfman. I forgot the name of the alien, but the Wolfman from the original non-special edition cantina. I think I saw Wolfman on the shipyard. But I love
wolf. Are you saying Wolfman like a wolf or a wolf?
What's the difference? I always say that wrong.
Wolf. Ask for the Wolfman.
Ask for the Wolfman.
It was Wolfman. It was Wolfman.
Wolf man. A alien that looked like a wolf. A wolf. A wolf.
That was the Arkansas Imperial officer coming out a little bit. Was that a wolf? Wolfman?
Wolf. Let me tell you something.
Hey man.
But the whole scene with the crew walking off, getting back on Slave One.
The best.
Not even checking to see if Bill Burr followed him.
The best.
But let's talk about that. So we've got Fennec who's back, which I felt like Fennec was a little. If I'm looking for things to complain about, felt like Fennec was a little underused in this episode. She was just kind of there with a few lines. If she's going to be there, I would like to see more of her, learn more about her.
Well, Fennec and Kara have their jobs to do, which is sharp shooting. So
right.
Got off to the side.
No, it's true. It's true.
And that was kind of like how in the first episode of season 2, Baby Yoda Grogu is just kind of hanging out. Like he's not in a pouch, kind of hanging.
Yeah.
So everybody's doing their business. But I love those characters. I'm glad that I've said this before. I'm glad she made it with her robot stomach now, the robot.
Would you like to see, because I mean, we're coming up on the season finale. Would you like to see this band together for some time, or do you know? What do you think?
I trust the writing at the moment. Like I love the last band of characters. Like I always say, Morning, IG-11, and Queel will always be there for me as a Star Wars fan. Like I was supremely bummed that they're gone. So just bringing in characters, and you know, we may never see Mayfeld again, but he did his job very nicely, and it had everybody likes redemption. And so for him to redeem himself with that, of course, the final shot.
And he didn't even ask for a ride to a better planet. He'll just like, I'll just hang out here with all the dead pirates, all the refugees.
Happy to be alive. I think happy to be free and happy to be alive. That's a lot of fun. So now we have, the final piece, of course, is something that was pretty brazen, which is now Din has sent a message to Moff Gideon, mirroring Gideon's message to him, which certainly does not please Moff Gideon. And I love that. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
What was the line you have? He means more to me than you will ever know.
Yeah.
Very powerful. This
is also, now that Grogu is being talked about as Mando's kid, this is not this is a bond between a dad and a son now, which makes it all the more exciting for the season finale, whatever you want to call it.
Or
Wolfman. When did you see
Wolfman finale? Wolfman finale.
Wolfman in Junkyard. Wolfman came in Junkyard.
What do you expect to see in the Mandalorian finale, and what do you want to see?
I'd like to not leave on a cliffhanger, but I feel like I am, because my emotions are everywhere because Grogu has been kidnapped.
I feel they're not going to get Grogu back at the end. I feel like they'll get him back eventually, but I feel that the fact that episode is called The Tragedy, I think that has to hold some weight, and I think he will be gone longer. That's my prediction.
I think you're spot on. May I, for a moment, if you follow what they did with The Empire Strikes Back, which is genius, and we both remember it. So you put your favorite characters in the most impossible situations, and then you make your fans wait for 3 years, right, for Return of the Jedi. So Han is frozen in carbonite, Luke's hand is cut off, and he's just been told something that's atrocious. But for me, you're probably right on, which is, not that you're going to drag it out, but you're going to make us so invested, more so than we would be. And it's just going to make season 3 that more anticipated, that more loved. And you're seeing this It's just a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
I'm Candler.
And I'm Chandler.
Dare you? How dare you? And this is Grab the Remote.